Zadkiel reminds us, you are a part of nature. Reflect its beauty.
Welcome, Meher, and thank you for reaching out to me about this topic of creating the Natural Worlds video series. I could tell when you were talking about it that you were very passionate about every topic that's coming up. But this one, tree spirits, seemed to be especially dear to your heart. Can you share with us why that is?
Sure. Thank you, Patricia, for doing this with me. So when I was young, I had this tree in my backyard, and every time I would feel low or sad or lonely, I would go back there and sit by it. And I almost felt like the tree comforted me and like heard me. And so I developed this relationship and started sort of telling it everything I wanted to, and felt a friend in the tree. And it really began my journey of realization that they're so alive, and just like your pets or our animals, they have so much to offer and say to us.
Thank you. I mean, you're taking me right back into your childhood experience. That's wonderful. So you really, as a child, could discern that personality of the tree. Is that correct?
I totally could feel it, yes. And I thought, why not bring that experience to our viewers here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's a great idea to do this. And one of the ways we're going to do that is we have a meditation coming up. And in that meditation, we walk through how to develop that relationship, how to have that experience. So let's go into the meditation, and then we'll be back afterward to discuss this more.
We will begin this journey within the physical body. Let us move from the busyness of the mind into the quieter space of the heart, and yet sometimes not as quiet as we need. Bring your awareness down to your feet and allow yourself to imagine standing in the earth. Feel the connection. And while we have this physical body standing now very solidly on the earth, notice that you are so much more than this physical body. You are the energy within. You are the spirit within. You are the essence that brings this body to life, as they say. So with this in mind and in heart, I'd like you to allow your imagination to take you on a walk out in nature. You may find yourself in a wooded area. You may find yourself in your very own garden. Let yourself connect to what it is you enjoy about walking in the woods or tending the garden. Connect to those feelings. our essence to the tree or plant or flower that is before us in our mind's eye. And while we see this physical specimen, notice that there is so much more than simply the physical specimen. Like us, there is energy, there is spirit, there is an essence. Allow yourself to connect to it. Allow it to draw on your essence. There is this beautiful exchange that can be created. Spend a few moments in that space of sharing with the tree, of sharing with the flowers, of sharing with any vegetation that you see. There is comfort there for you, just as you can provide comfort. It takes only a few minutes to make this beautiful connection. You will find yourself called back again and again. Set the intention to do just that, to connect again and again with these beautiful elements of nature. Allow yourself the time to sit, to share, to learn, to grow together. And it is within that beautiful space of sharing you will learn very much about yourself and the world. And now, very gently, bring yourself back into your physical body. And in your heart, hold on to the knowing that you will continue those connections. And with the next few out-breaths, simply let the meditation release.
Welcome back from the meditation. Now, Meher, during the meditation, we talk about a literal sharing between the individual and the tree. Can you explain more about how that develops, how that happens?
Yes, of course. So it can happen in so many different ways that one can experience this. If you like to stay in your backyard and plant, then and with spring coming up right now, it's the perfect time to do so if the season allows at your end. But while you're planting, if you intentionally set the intention that this seed is going to lead to those beautiful flowers that I'm going to enjoy in my backyard every day, or the seed is going to turn out to be the vegetable or whatever I'm going to to consume and may it be blessed in a certain way with the right energy. And you can also work with the cycles of the moon for planting are wonderful, where we plant the seed at the time of the new moon and harvest around the full moon. So that is a beautiful way when people are gardening, even just simply watering, just the act of watering. It can just be so serene and soothing, like almost like meditative. So that's one way of connecting with the plants in your garden, the familiar ones, and you watch them grow every day. Oh, there comes that tomato, or so like it's such it's such a miracle, an everyday miracle of nature, that this beautiful thing that you planted is actually thriving and growing. So that's one way of connecting, that we all are very familiar with, those of us who do work with nature in that way. And for some of us, it's more about those of us who are explorers, when we go on our exploration or on our hikes, and we are moving through the trees. I have heard of stories where when you're lost on a hike, and all of a sudden, you can just completely surrender, and then the trees will almost guide you on your way back. Like there'll be a wind or a certain whiff, and like the trees will, like you will feel that they're guiding you right back to the spot. So that's another way. Or when you're just having an anxious moment, and you just go for a walk in the neighborhood, even in your afternoon walk, and then you pass those very familiar trees, you can almost feel that they have their own nature. Like over here in our a local environment, we have the desert junipers that feel like ancient grandfatherly ones, and very dominant, and the piñons are a little less dominant, and they're always taking over the piñons. And so it's like almost like they have personalities, the way our pets have personalities, and they're very, very alive in a way.
And so you see that regionally, right? So around the country, people are going to experience something a little different, because it really depends on what is growing in that particular region.
I really agree with that. Like sometimes when you fly out to a whole new land, and you land, and the trees feel so different. Like some environments have many different types of trees that grow. Other environments have another different, just like more shrubbery, or so when you like kind of connect with one tree, even there, it's almost like they network with the rest of the trees, and they'll be like, oh, this is our friend, so protect them along the way, that kind of thing. So you feel like they're protecting you, they're directing you, they're guiding you. There's many ways they communicate.
That is true. I experience that sometimes, especially if I'm, if you're with somebody else, you're kind of focused on the person you're with and in that conversation. But if you're alone, you tend to get into that silent conversation with the nature around you, which is really lovely. Now, if someone doesn't have that luxury of a beautiful park or a nature trail right near them, what would you suggest they do?
Well, there's different ways. Even if you're in a thriving city, when you step down, and maybe you have a train ride to your workplace, and just on that pathway, as you walk down, or you're just walking to the car, there could be this tree that's there, and you can befriend this neighborhood tree, and maybe say, okay, this is my tree, this is my friend. And on the way, just even if you just touch it, and as you touch the tree, you can ask for the tree that, with your roots, help me ground. So like you can feel them taking you down and grounding, because the tree spirits are so beautiful, because their roots go all the way down, but then their branches are always leaning upward, so they're so grounded, and yet they're so connected, and that they teach us that, and by just connecting with them, we are feeling into that spirit of them. And I would even go all the way by to say that if you feel comfortable, hug the tree, and give it your love, and you'll feel the love back. When your plants are not growing because you put them in the wrong spot or something where sun wasn't, then you try to talk to them, and as soon as you move them to the right spot, they'll start responding. And if you give it love and talk to them, they'll start growing back. So really, when we talk to our plants, they hear us and they respond, and we feel that energy and the grounding. And if you're feeling anxious and all over the place, just being in nature or walking in nature. That's why so many people like to go for those walks, because it just, or runs, even when people are running, and then but in around trees, they feel that grounding.
Definitely. And what you were saying about how they'll express the spot they want to be in. I find that too with houseplants, especially if I'm bringing a new houseplant in. You can tell where it's happy here or it's not happy here, and where does it want to go. And you really just have to let it show you. And you can always tell the difference when it really just I don't even know how I was going to say how happy it gets. You can tell when that is occurring. So it's a lovely feeling for everyone to experience. And of course, sometimes we have days where it's not even possible to go outside due to the weather. You can visit your favorite spot in your mind's eye. Close your eyes, just go within and revisit those wonderful spots where you've had these experiences. And would you agree? We can get that same feeling of groundedness and connectedness, right?
Completely. Yes, that's such a beautiful point to bring up. Like, we don't have to physically always be there, but we can connect, just like when you're connecting with a loved one in spirit. And like say, for instance, every time I'm thinking about my mom, like, she will call me or text me. So we often have this telepathy with our loved ones, and it's very similar to feel that
Yes.
tree. And if you have a tree in your backyard, the guardian tree of your home, and you like really treat it like the guardian, it will protect, the space around it.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've offered a lot of information for everyone to enjoy and to try if they haven't experienced this yet. I know we have some other videos that are going to come up. I believe we've decided that the next one will be on crystals, on the crystal kingdom. Anything you'd like to add about that?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, so as part of this nature series, we just wanted to give a voice to every little being in nature, and these rocks that have been marinating in Gaia for thousands of years. They bring so much. So I think that's going to be a really fun work video.
I think so too. I have many in my home and workspace, and besides the beauty, the energy that they bring is wonderful to experience. Well, thank you to the viewer for watching, and if you have any questions or comments for us, please leave them in the comment area, and we will respond as soon as possible. Any last thoughts, Meher?
I think the only takeaway I would like to leave you with is that just try it. Just try to connect with your tree, with the tree at home, the tree next door, and make a friend. They prove to be wonderful, loyal, loving, protective friends that provide so much grounding and peace, and they love the love too. So and we don't
Agree.
often in our day-to-day lives, we're so disconnected from nature these days. In ancient times, um, everything would go with the cycles of nature. We would follow seasons and moon cycles, and because we were so affected by nature, now that we have our homes and our boxes that we live in, and that's great that we have our comforts, but the fact is that that's how our DNA remembers our ancestors grew up that way. So there is a lot of benefit in feeling into that natural way of living by and when you can't do that and you're in a city, simply by connecting to the spirit of the tree.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you for adding that. We will see everyone soon, and Meher, I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.